Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We are continuing with the silly season of release schedules this week, and this one is a little bit different because we are once again venturing into the realm of K hip hop, which I'm not very well versed with, if at all. This has been highly anticipated among the certain people that I follow based around K hip hop, primarily in like Discord servers and Twitch chats and things like that. But Kunst is back with a pre-release titled 55 featuring Baek Yerin and Red Velvet's Wendy. In itself, it's kind of like a monumental collaboration. Like Wendy and Baek Yerin. It's like Wendy covering Baek Yerin and like having her as an inspiration for vocals, and now they're on a feature together with Kunst. I'm kind of excited by this. I know in the LK TV like Twitch chat and Discord server, there's been a couple moderators. I think is Omega the one that usually does K hip hop stuff. I think. I don't know, my memory is not all that great, but this has been teased for a while, and I'm very much excited to learn more about the genre and just kind of experience it properly. So here we go. Now, apologies in advance if I don't understand certain things. I am not well versed in hip hop music at all. Like, I tend to approach whatever music I listen to with my musical mindset, which tends to lean towards into the classical or like classically trained realm, just because that's kind of like my musical background is chorale music and orchestral music. So apologies if I don't understand certain nuances about K hip hop right away. That's just it's just not in the memory banks quite yet. So I'm gonna take this as a learning experience and just a musical experience in general. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. I should check for captions. I like the songs in triple meter so far. I like how strongly this song is relying on that triple meter measure subdivision, because it's really clear, and it gives it a nice little like swing like lilt to it. The second verse is relying a lot. It's making use of a lot of long dramatic pauses in between phrases. I think that's really cool. It's a different way of breaking apart the phrases a little bit. And so far, Baek Yerin and Wendy's voices together work really well. They're surprisingly very similar style-wise. Interesting. Ooh. Okay, that's it. Ooh. Okay. This was, to be honest, I don't actually know what I was expecting out of this, but I'm pleasantly surprised by this. I thought it was going to be a little bit harder for me to digest just because I'm not too familiar with the genre at all, but there's enough here where I can actually like musically understand it. It's there's a really interesting like what happens when a song decides to go into triple meter. So this is kind of like a quick music theory lesson for you all, but typically most songs, especially in the pop or I guess even in the K hip hop realm in a way, unless it's a really slow song, typically the songs are divided into 4 beat measures or 2 beat measures. So you have your like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of subdivision. With 55, it's broken up into threes, so triple meter. So every musical measure, only has 3 beats in it. So you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and by having it in triple meter, there's some interesting things you can do with it stylistically and also rhythmically, because 3 and 4 divide up very differently when it comes to music. You can make a 4 or a 2 sound a little bit swingy, but 3 in general will naturally sound swingy, or if it'll naturally feel swung a little bit, because there's really no good way of explaining it, but typically on a musical phrase, your odd number beats are the ones that often get accentuated more than your even numbered beats. So, like on a 4 beat measure, your 1 and your 3s are most likely going to be more accentuated, whether that be like the beginning of a word or the beginning of a like little subphrase or a little musical like a melodic run. You can't really do that with 3 because 3 doesn't divide evenly. It's basic mathematics. 3 does not divide evenly into whole numbers, two even whole number halves. And that's the same way when it comes into the music part of it, is if you keep the same idea of the odd number beats getting the little accent, you have the accents on the 1 and the 3. So that means only the second beat doesn't get accentuated. Hence why there's a natural like swing feel to 3 beat measures. So like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's one of those interesting things about music theory where it's just kind of like a rule of thumb in a way. So we'll go back to just some random spot in the song here, but and so like even in this chorus, there isn't really a heavy accentuated 3rd beat within the measure, but because the accentuated beats are on the 1 of every measure, you now have 2 beats in between each accentuated like downbeat, giving it again a different kind of lilt effect to it. And there's a nice natural swing where musically 3 doesn't divide really well, but artists can take advantage of that and give it a nice little swing. And that's what 55 does really well, is it swings. It's a really gentle swing. It's not one of those where you're just like, oh yeah, just kind of like really feel it, but it's noticeable enough to know that it's there. And it's a really surprisingly tame song musically. Like, there isn't too much that's jarring in how the melodic structure or like the song structure is. It just kind of flows naturally. And it's another one of the advantages of having like a triple meter measure subdivision, is that it'll naturally kind of flow, because you can't really make a quick 3/4 and swing it unless you go into 6/8, and that's a completely different like musical take on it. But a nice slow 3/4, you can kind of just like rock back and forth with it. It's always going to be at a nice pace. You can swing along to a 2/4 or 4/4, but it's going to be the most comfortable once it's in 3. And this song I think does that really well, because you can just And the song kind of tells you exactly what the major emphasized beats is. Because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Essentially, every single measure you have in the instrumental part, just a singular chord hit on the one beat, and then it's either sustained or you have the ascending singular bass in the background that transitions into the next major chord hit. So the song is essentially guiding you on how this song should be listened to and how it should be felt. It's that nice little 1, 2, 3 swing, and that's, I think, really interesting. Music theory brain is very satisfied with this. This was, again, like this type of like song composition, especially like in pop music, it is hard to do a triple meter pop song because pop music tends to be, pretty high energy in a way, and the best way to get energy within a song is to put it into four. It's one of those things in weird things in music where it just kind of naturally fits better if you have a high energy song in four. You can get them in threes. It's a little bit trickier. But when you slow things down a little bit, make it a little bit chill like this, 3 works really nicely, and 55 is a really nice and surprisingly digestible song. That I'm only saying that because I'm not too familiar with the K hip hop scene. And so like I don't know what type of music is considered like the general norm through the genre. Like from the hundreds of songs we've checked out over in the K-pop scene, I can tell you kind of roughly what the general trend is at the moment. Like people are starting to turn up the energy a little bit, but there's still some artists going for that like wintry chill vibe. I don't know if that's the same in the K hip hop scene, but this has definitely gone that like nice chill route, and I really like it. But that's it for me today. Thank you all for dealing with my musical theory rambling and all that. There's only occasional songs that get me into this headspace, and 55 has done that like immediately. I tremendously appreciate it because I haven't used that brand in a hot minute. But that's it for me today. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy and want to see more, channel icon is up there. You can find the back catalog of stuff watched in the past. Drop a subscription if you want to keep up to date with whenever I upload new videos. And if you want to watch another video of mine right away, YouTube recommends you watch that video down there. And until next time, bye bye.